We're going to be talking about tonight Laith Marouf and his organization CMAC and how they were able to get funding from the Canadian government, the Liberal government of Canada, with the diversity minister, Hussen. Now, before I get into that, I just want to read a tweet from one of the statements made by Laith Marouf. You'll see where I'm going with it. In one tweet, he said, "Life is too short for entertaining Jewish white supremacists with anything but a bullet to the head." Now, we just go on about this Minister of Diversity. The Minister of Diversity, Ahmed Hussen, he was in a news release that went out in April. Supporting the initiative by the government of Canada to actually fund this operation, the Community Media Advocacy Center, located in Montreal. We finally exposed it, and not only us, but there was a number of people on Twitter that I communicate with that had a lot to do with exposing this. It wasn't the major organizations that were behind the investigation, not at all. But we collaborated and we exposed this fully for at least over a week already, and it made it into the media, thank God. After the exposure of what a rabid anti-Semite Laith Marouf is, the Minister of Diversity released a statement. So I'm going to read you the statement. You'll see the absurdity of this statement. Let me just get it. So it's all documented, everything that went on social media to expose Laith Marouf. He's been doing it for years. And by the way, I've been aware of him for about 10 years already. He's a supporter of Hezbollah. He visits Lebanon regularly. I believe he's got a residence in Lebanon, him and his wife, Gretchen King. And anyone who does a little bit of basic homework will see exactly his support for Hezbollah, which is listed as a terrorist organization by the government of Canada, his repeated anti-Semitism, his calls for violence. So here's the statement after it was fully exposed by Ahmed Hussen. We have provided notice to the Community Media Advocacy Center, CMAC, that their funding has been cut and their project has been suspended. Now, just understand, they've been getting funding for 3 years already. Lots of money from the government. We call on CMAC, an organization claiming to fight racism and hate in Canada to answer how they came to hire Laith Marouf and how they plan on rectifying the situation given the nature of his anti-Semitic and xenophobic statements. We look forward to a proper response on their next steps and clear accountability regarding this matter. I want to assure Canadians that our government has and will continue to fight anti-Semitism and hate in all forms. Okay, so let me point something out. Number one, CMAC. Who runs CMAC and who controls CMAC and who owns CMAC? It's run, it's owned, and it's operated by the two senior consultants, Laith Marouf and his wife, Gretchen King / Marouf. They operate it. She signs the documents. All this has been made public on social media as well. The Minister of Diversity is asking Laith Marouf and his wife to investigate why they hired Laith Marouf. That's the absurdity of the whole thing. But it gets even more convoluted. It gets more convoluted because I've been following the Minister of Diversity because I monitor many of the BDS organizations in Canada. I can't claim to investigate every single one because I'm not sure about every single one. Some could be very hidden. But certainly the major BDS organizations in Canada, I have been investigating for a long time. And I came across a number of years ago that the Minister of Diversity, Ahmed Hussen, posed for a picture with Melinda Gallo from CJPME, one of the main organizations in Canada. And Miranda Gallo has made videotapes on YouTube for CJPME, encouraging people to go to department stores and to seek out Israeli products and put BDS stickers on. That's what she has done for a long time. She's on record doing that. So here we have the meme on the screen right now of Ahmed Hussen in a picture with Miranda Gallo from CJPME, who that's what she's known for, promoting to target Israeli products in department stores here. Now, somebody could say, there could be a critic that could say, okay, well, he's on the campaign trail and anybody could take a photo with him and he has, you can't accuse him of that. Okay, perhaps, but there's a bit of a trail here. Ahmed Hussen was at a Liberal Party barbecue with another member of Parliament who is very vicious against Israel, who actually heads a committee to bash Israel. He was at the barbecue and he was wearing a Palestinian scarf. He's wearing the Palestine flag. And he's posing for pictures with one of the leaders of the BDS. And he's so happy in April to provide funding for CMAC and their work they're doing under the guise of anti-racism. It's an outrage. Now, there's more. Also, let's bear in mind one other critical point. Laith Marouf doesn't just use the word Zionist. That's what they try to hide behind. No, we're only targeting Zionists. He uses the word Jews. And by the way, there are others that stand in full support of Laith Marouf. Food vendors of insignificant memory. Food vendors is posting on social media that they have to support Laith Marouf. Sure. Okay, so there's more. And a basic search, a basic Google search, like when you're hiring anyone for a job, would show who Laith Marouf is and who his wife Gretchen King is. And her bio is full of anti-Semitism, anti-Israel garbage. Now, I said there's more. This is what there's more. There's an organization that's helping to facilitate a speaking tour for Laith Marouf. It's called Anti-Racism Media. And they were helping with a cross-country tour of Laith Marouf and CMAC. Same thing, interchangeable. CMAC, Laith Marouf, Gretchen King, same thing, same people. So anti-racism media, that's something that we have to take notice of, and that's something that we're going to have to investigate. Now, we have some, we have some Jewish organizations, and I'm not going to mention them by name because I don't want to bash them by name anyways, and I'm not looking to bash. But it's almost like passing the buck when they're calling on the government to hold an independent investigation of how this ended up, how this happened in the first place. I'm not interested in that because I don't trust the government with an independent investigation because of what happened with this scandal, because of the associations of Minister of Diversity, and it's been going on, and he just got caught. And it ends up also that a Jewish member of parliament who's in Montreal, Anthony Housesetter, he's on record saying that he was telling, before this blew up in the media, that he was telling Ahmed Hussein all about it and that you got to take action now. But the minister waited. So, and he waited because he's on friendly terms with these kinds of people. So, number one, the minister should be fired. That's number one. Number two, we need government funding for us to have our own independent investigation. Now, I have the connections and I know the people on social media that will work hard at this. What we need to do is to fully investigate the anti-racism media. Who's behind it? What the connections are? Who's with it? And we know quite a bit about it. We get you put it all together, and he's wearing the Palestine flag, and he's posing for pictures with one of the leaders of the BDS, and he's so happy in April to provide funding for CMAC and their work they're doing under the guise of anti-racism. It's an outrage. Now, there's more. Also, let's bear in mind one other critical point. Laith Marouf doesn't just use the word Zionist. That's what they try to hide behind. No, we're only targeting Zionists. He uses the word Jews.
هنا يحتاج أولادنا أن يعرفوا لماذا الإسلام فقط هو الذي يهاجم. لا أحد يهاجم اليهودية، ولا يجرؤ أحد أن يهاجم اليهودية. قليل جدا من الناس من يهاجم المسيحية، ولا يوجد أحد يهاجم الهندوسية رغم أنهم يعبدون الأبقار. لا أحد يهاجم إلا الإسلام فقط.
With Allah. With Allah, you don't deal like that. You just start. You take the first step.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak, everyone. Eid Mubarak. We want you to know that every day in Canada we stand in solidarity with Muslim Canadians. We are unequivocal in our policies to make sure that we protect Muslim Canadians from coast to coast to coast against Islamophobia.
What we need to do is to fully investigate the anti-racism media. Who's behind it? What the connections are? Who's with it? And we know quite a bit about it. This is anti-Semitism that has been festering for a long time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a BDS person, supporter of Hezbollah, talking about putting a bullet in the head of Jews and getting paid for it? And having a speaking tour set up by a so-called anti-racism media group going across Canada? So we're going to work on this. And we're going to expose whatever members of parliament are involved with this as well. We're working hard. I want to encourage everyone, support Israel Now. Go to our website, make a donation, or also send us an email that you want to get involved, you want to help out with investigations of these various organizations. We've been doing a lot of work.